All right, this is Chaotic Crypto. This is where DeFi Tyranny. This is your daily crypto analysis and news updates, I suppose. We're going to just go over the charts and kind of check on sentiment and see what's happening around the crypto space. There's a lot of people saying we're going to go down and retest some areas, and there's a lot of people saying we might go. Actually, there's really not a lot of people saying we're going to go up. So that's where I'm kind of interested. If we do actually break out of this, and if this was a bull flag, we're going to project how far that might take us. And we're just going to zoom in real quick. Actually, let's not do that. Initially I was kind of thinking this was going to be some kind of a rising wedge, which it can be. And if it is a rising wedge, that means the target would be back to this Fibonacci level around 20,000. But if it's a bull flag, then the way of measuring that would be from the breakout, which we could say conservatively. I mean, it could be as far as down here, but I want to go conservative and say it was at the 0.78 to this level. And we take that and we extrapolate. Take that measurement and we take it from there. Again, we're going to go conservative. It could go higher than this. But if this was to happen, which would be very impressive, it would be a higher high. It would be kind of like a start of almost a bull run type of situation. We would go to 25K. That's pretty impressive, and that would make sense for it to be a resistance in that level. Previous resistance from here. So yeah, that makes sense. Again, it's all about confluence, and the indicators often will point to the same things. I did make a slight mistake yesterday, and I was projecting the Fibonacci. I went back on my video, was looking at where things would go. You actually start at the bottom and take your place back to the you start at the bottom where you think the breakout was, and you take it to the top, and then it gives you the Fibonacci for the retracements. And 0.618 is the most common retracement for a move, and that would put us around 18, 19K. We were getting a lot of 18.5 and 19K projections yesterday, but taking a look at some of these volumes of 4 hours, stochastic's pretty oversold. And if we look at here, we're kind of recharging on the regular RSI on the 4 hour, which is interesting to me. Let's see, check the 1 hour. It's not a very good indicator generally, but it doesn't seem very oversold. It kind of looks like we're coiling, it kind of looks like we might have another move up. I mean, a lot of people were expecting this move down and just pile in, and that also means that people are shorting this. And if there's a lot of shorts coming in, then it might get wrecked. And I will say that's a mistake I made last cycle, and I'll show you where that was if this thing will load. Go back to the daily. Here we go. I don't know what's going on with my computer right now. It's usually so good. Okay. Yeah, so last cycle, I was just started margin trading in, what day was that? I guess that was, I'll tell you right now. I would say October and November, I started trading and didn't know what I was doing. I made a whole Bitcoin right here, then lost it all right there. You live and you learn. If you don't know what's going on, then you just don't know. And it's just interesting. But what happened to me is we started getting these roll-ups. I think right in here, I started putting some shorts in. And I was really thinking that we would come down and maybe come down, retest this 200 week. Is it the 200? Which is a similar situation we're in right now. A lot of people are thinking we're going to test this 200 week. And, oopsie, didn't mean to hit that. If we look at right now where the 200 week is, why does it keep on doing that? Stop doing that. All right, 200 week. It's similar. It's very similar. It's at 19.5. We may not come back to hit that 200 for a good while. The 21 week might be the better. Let's change that real quick. Oh, this is the 200 day. Sorry. No, well, it's a 200 week. Let's quick while we're doing this. So 200 week. It's actually similar. I take that back. Sorry about that. Okay, coming back out. I'm going back to 2018. I was like, yeah, I was just convinced for some reason that we were going to pull back, and I was going to make some money. Well, it never happened, and I had to like pile in to margin to be able to try to keep it to get out of the trade. Like I did it for like maybe a couple months. I was just sitting around trying to like wait for this pullback so I could get out of this trade, and I finally did get out of that trade. I think it was like right in here. Like I had to pile in a bunch of money to get out of that trade so I could get out. And meanwhile, there's something called opportunity cost. That whole time I could have been longing it, or I could have been longing Ethereum or something else instead of trying to fight the trend and break even. I could have been making some money. So I would not try to fight what's going on right now. Every 3 to 6 months, the markets sort of change. I'm not going to say we're going into a straight bull market, but we've had so much down action. It just makes sense that we have a lot of up action for a good while before our next pullback. Just makes the most sense. But I mean, no doubt this regular RSI is oversold on the daily. So pullback does seem more likely, and it could be an ugly pullback, and it could go further than everyone's thinking. Could come all the way down, 18.5 or something like that. But I just don't know. A lot of it's the regular stock market and S&P. It's looking a little bit overextended as well. So, but there is room to run up. We're on the weekly regular RSI. Let's see. Hey, we want to see some pullback. Maybe we create an inverse head and shoulders, and that would look like something. We come back down here, and then we go up. But that's a long. Yeah, something like that. That would go over a couple years. But in the meantime, I think something like this, and maybe up like this, and then like that. We'll see. We will see. I'm trying to get rid of this. There we go. But let's take a look at some other thing to see what's happening. Crypto Fear Greed Index. I forget what it printed yesterday. We're back at 51, which is kind of lame. That makes me think we might get a pullback. I mean, like I'm really kind of I'm not really trying to push for more. I'd rather Bitcoin chill out and pull back. And my title yesterday was like expect chop. So I mean, I think a little bit of both. The thing is, the longs have piled in so hard. Everyone's betting on the market to go up. I think 6-1 on the shorts. So a pullback would make more sense, and pullback everybody's optimism. But I feel like it's starting to die down. That's just judging from sentiment and what I'm seeing in the space. So check crypto bubble, see what's going on there. See, there's a lot of green in the market still, so maybe we do get a big pullback soon. And again, I think the stock market's going to be a big indicator for that. If the stock market's pulled back pretty hard this week, that would be the indicator for that. Solana's really pushing up. I like that. Mana is still on the high. HNT Helium's coming back. I like that. I like seeing that coming back. Chainlink. All right, I'm gonna have to take some profit on one of my trades on that one. Is this on the Heikinashi candles? I think it is on the Heikin-Ashi. Let's take a look at the 3-day. Well, really the weekly. I think that shows you better trends. We're starting to get some pretty bullish momentum on the Heikin-Ashis. You get this much momentum going, I feel like. And again, we really want to like stay above this area. 18.5 is really the area we really want to stay above. I mean, I just really kind of see us hitting this resistance and going sideways for a little bit longer into spring, but we might get a more aggressive move than that. So something to be aware of. I'm trying to think of any news or anything else I've heard. I didn't really catch the news as much today. Got rained on and I couldn't listen to my radio as much, so my YouTube station. So it's exciting times though. It still is. Like, I feel so much better about everything. I think it's going to be all right, right? Just expect a pullback. It just makes the most sense. We are kind of creating a falling wedge, a rising wedge. So what would be my projection given that? Well, rising wedge, the target. Again, we already did this, but 20K minimally. But I actually would have to say if we break this wedge, break this down pattern, and it could be pretty aggressive. It'd probably be because all the stops would hit. So maybe we come up here a little bit more, one more try, and we come down pretty hard into the 0.5. Swing down, then come on down to 0.8. Maybe come back up and then come down to 0.78, something like that, and then consolidate. And look at that. That would look like something. Yeah. Zooming out. See, it would basically mirror this other situation. And this is going to be speculative. We'll make a little move here. But that would create, and this happened in the last bear market as well. And that would create inverse head and shoulders. Where is that indicator? Sorry, usually it's, oh, there it is. And you can project this, do something like that. Okay, so that's your inverse head and shoulders patterns. It's a little rudimentary, but apologize for that. Let's move out to the daily. And how you measure a big inverse head and shoulders pattern would be, and this would be kind of like a daily trade, daily short, or a daily, on the daily time frames, right? I've already said, like, on the weekly, this whole wedge is going to, over the next couple of years, it's going to just pile out. And it could be aggressive, but rambling on. So if you're looking at just making a monthly trade or like on the daily time chart, something like that, yeah, you take the shoulder, come on down, extrapolate that from there, and that gives you a target, 28 to 30K, which is my target anyway, so it's, we'll see how it all pans out. What else? What other news? I'm trying to think. I think that's really it for me today. I just wanted to do a quick little technical analysis update. I didn't do any prep work. I haven't really no thoughts and everything. I think a pullback, especially if the stock market pulls back. But if it doesn't, we could pop on up. Their targets were 23 to 25K. So the daily RSI is overextended. The daily stochastic RSI is overextended. So at the very least, that we're going to see a breakout of this, and maybe it doesn't go this far down. But these are just the 0.618 Fibonacci and 0.78 are very common. So we'll go from there. Check in tomorrow. Peace.